This episode is brought to you by Forney Industries, official sponsor of Faction 46 and Nice Motorsports Truck Series teams. Forney offers versatile welding and plasma cutting machines, along with a full line of metalworking accessories for beginners, do-it-yourselfers, and professionals. Forney has everything you need for your next metalworking project. Shop for these top-of-the-line products at forneyInd.com. That's FORNEYIND.com, or at an authorized Forney dealer near you.
Hey there, NASCAR fans. Have you got your copy of the latest edition of NASCAR Pole Position Print Magazine? If not, there's no better time than now to subscribe at polepositionmag.com. NASCAR Pole Position is the only print magazine covering NASCAR. Officially licensed by NASCAR, NASCAR Pole Position Magazine is published throughout the NASCAR season, and each edition is an instant collector's item, packed with great feature stories and photography. The magazine is even mailed to you in a poly bag for those who love to collect NASCAR memorabilia. At polepositionmag.com, you can even find past issues available to purchase. Get your subscription to NASCAR Pole Position and get great NASCAR content delivered straight to your mailbox throughout the season. Learn more at polepositionmag.com. That's polepositionmag.com.
Hey y'all, Rick Houston here, and I want to tell you about my new show, the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast. I've partnered up with the state of North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to help uncover the history behind moonshining mountain boys, professional wheelmen, and the backwoods and city lights of the Tar Heel State. In the first episode, I sat down with Winston Kelly at the NASCAR Hall of Fame for a little behind-the-scenes gossip about Junior Johnson's engineering skills.
He's got two things in his hand, pipe wrench and channel lock pliers. And they weren't new. They had been around the block a time or two.
Wasn't the first steel they built, I bet.
No. I think the pliers had been red before, but paint had worn off.
And in the second episode, I talked to a professional hillbilly, a.k.a. Dr. Daniel Pierce of UNC Asheville, to find out the real history of moonshiners and their battles with the revenuers.
He wrote about one of his experience of trying to chase down this bootlegger in this souped-up car, and he complained that the government gave him these piece of crap, cheapo cars, and that were really no match, but he thought he was doing pretty good, and then the guy just hits it and just takes off and practically disappeared. But then the guy makes a bootleg turn and comes back towards him. And as he said, it was a game of chicken, and I was a chicken. And so he ran off the road. And actually, he was the guy who caught Junior Johnson at his daddy's steal when Junior got tangled up in a barbed wire fence.
So check out the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast, available on YouTube, dailydownforce.com, and all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And be sure to check out my regular show on NASCAR history, the Scene Vault Podcast.
Eric Estep here. One of my favorite parts of being a NASCAR fan is collecting diecasts. It's how I got my start on YouTube, actually. To me, a room is not complete until it features shelves of NASCAR diecast cars. It's as good a time as ever to continue your collection or begin an all-new one by pre-ordering your favorite driver's 2022 Next Gen diecast at LionelRacing.com or at any authorized Lionel retailer. Lionel is the official diecast of NASCAR, and don't miss Lionel Racing's NASCAR Authentics diecasts at a Walmart or Target near you. Not only is Lionel the official diecast of NASCAR, but they're also official supporters of the Out of the Groove podcast network. So what are you waiting for? Head to LionelRacing.com to order your favorite driver's 2022 diecast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I am Joshua Lepowski here with the Daily Downforce, and I'm proud to introduce to you a brand new Daily Downforce podcast, Next Gen Creators. Thank you so much here for tuning in once again. And so you're probably asking then, what is Next Gen Creators? And well, who am I? Who is Joshua Lepowski? Well, I'll start out by explaining who I am. Joshua Lepowski. I am a news writer at the Daily Downforce. I just started being a news writer with the Daily Downforce back in May. Been here for the last couple of months. I also have some experience doing some play-by-play broadcasting and stuff like that. I just recently graduated college, and I also spent some time in college as a NASCAR writer as well for the school newspaper. I went to Liberty University, and so I was able to cover William Byron as he was going through his first years in the sport. That's how I got into NASCAR in general in terms of the media side of it, but I've been a NASCAR fan ever since I was a young kid, and I really have a passion to bring to light some of the stories of these content creators, and that is what Next Gen Creators is all about. It's all about highlighting these content creators that you see all over the internet. You know them, we know them, we have partnerships with some of these people as well, and we love to see their content. We want to know, who are these people? What type of stuff got them into the sport in the first place? What type of stuff was it that got them into content creation? All sorts of stuff like that. We're going to hit all of those topics with this podcast, Next Gen Creators. We are planning on this being an interview style podcast. We're going to have a new guest every single week, a different content creator from all different walks of content creation. We're going to have some YouTubers. We're hoping to see if we can put together maybe some other people from different walks of content creation as well. But we have plenty of exciting guests that are lined up and are very excited to have them on. Our first guest is lined up to be Eric Estep. You should know him from Out of the Groove, one of the top content creators in NASCAR right now. And he is going to be our very first guest on this podcast. He's a friend of Daily Downforce as well. So we hope you guys will enjoy it very heavily. Again, this is all about highlighting the content creators. It's about highlighting kind of the new age of NASCAR. You know, it's a very different world we live in nowadays. Media is being consumed in a much different way. New media is starting to gain its footing a lot more, particularly with the younger generation, people such as me and my generation, and the NASCAR I grew up with and the content that I'm growing up with is a lot different than the way some other people have grown up. And I think it's really cool to highlight some of these people and the work that they're doing to promote the sport of NASCAR in a very unique and much more modern way. That's a really cool thing. And to be able to have them on here to tell their stories, to tell kind of what their mission is with their channel. What do they want to do? What are they trying to highlight in NASCAR? What are the types of things that got them into the sport in the first place? What makes NASCAR so special to them? That's the type of stuff that we want to try to discuss here on this podcast, Next Gen Creators. As we said, first episode is going to be released. It's going to be Eric Estep. That is our very first guest. We do not have a date set yet for when that episode will be released, but we do know that he will be our first guest. And we are very, very excited for that. Be sure to let us know who you guys want to see on this podcast. Who do you want to see highlighted on some of these episodes? Who are the people that you want to hear from? Who are some of your favorite NASCAR content creators that maybe we haven't highlighted? We've talked somewhat behind the scenes about some of the people we want to try to bring on, but we also want to hear from you, the fans. Of course, Daily Downforce is all about the fans. We want to hear what the fans are saying. We want to hear every single point of view, and we want to be able to make sure that we're serving you in a very unique way. And that's really what the point of this podcast is. It's finding a way to bring some of these content creators that you love, that you've watched, that you've listened to for such a long time, and to be able to bring them in to discuss some of their stories and to hear some tales about kind of like what they've gone through as content creators and all sorts of stuff like that. We're super excited for that to be brought on. Once again, this is called Next Gen Creators, and it's going to highlight all these content creators in NASCAR nowadays that are really doing a great job of promoting NASCAR and doing a really great job of providing a unique way for people to get their NASCAR news, and some of these newer platforms that we are seeing pop up in the world nowadays. It should be very, very exciting. Once again, Eric Estep will be our first guest coming up here in the coming days. We hope you guys enjoy it. I'm Joshua Lepowski. Once again, I'm excited to meet you guys once again for episode 1 with Eric Estep. Next Gen Creators on the Daily Downforce. We'll see you then, folks.